Hey, boys and girls, welcome to story time. We are going to finish Mercy Watson Goes for a Ride today. We're going to read the rest of the chapters and see what happens. We made predictions yesterday. Did we think that they were going to get pulled over? Were they going to get a ticket? Were they going to go to jail? Were they getting a car accident? Were they going to eat their toast? We don't know. Is Eugenia going to be so mad at baby? We'll see what happens. Here we go. Chapter 11. You must stop the car, shouted Officer Tomiello. But I cannot stop the car, said Mr. Watson. Oink, oink, said Mercy. She was having an excellent time. I have an idea, Mr. Watson, said Baby Lincoln. If you tell me where the brake pedal is, I will apply it. The brake pedal, said Mr. Watson from underneath Mercy, is the pedal to the left of the gas pedal. The brake pedal is the pedal that I do not have my foot on. Baby unbuckled her seatbelt. She climbed into the front seat. She put her seatbelt on. She slid as close to Mr. Watson as she could. She looked down. She saw Mr. Watson's foot, and she saw the pedal next to it. Okay, guys, so is Mercy Watson helping? No, she's just driving, and she did not move, so he can't move either. Now, is this smart? Is this safe for you to take off your seatbelt and climb over the seat? No, not when you're moving, but this is a story. It's fiction. I have located the brake pedal, Mr. Watson, Baby announced. Excellent, said Mr. Watson. Now apply it. Baby stretched across Mr. Watson. I'm applying the brake pedal, Mr. Watson, Baby shouted. Hold on, everyone. All right, so they're going to stop the car. She's pushing the brake. See the brake pedal? And he's doing the gas, and so she'll have to do the brake pedal. I want you to look at this picture. How did the illustrator show that they were going fast? How did the illustrator, not the author, not the person who wrote the words, look at the illustration. How do you know they're going fast? What do you see? Yeah, look, you see how everything looks like it's blurry, like it's whooshing by. They made it look like they were going fast by drawing the picture like that. That's pretty cool. Chapter 12. The car screeched. The car shuddered. The car careened. The car caromed. And finally, the car stopped. Mercy was very surprised. Suddenly, she was not driving the car. Suddenly, she was not even in the car. Suddenly, Mercy was airborne. Mr. Watson was wearing his seatbelt. He did not fly out of the car. Baby Lincoln was wearing her seatbelt. She did not fly out of the car. Officer Tomiello was safe in his police cruiser. He did not fly out of his car. Only Mercy flew. Why did she fly out of the car? They slammed on the brakes and she, wasn't wearing her seatbelt. So she flew out of the car. That's why it is so important to always wear your seatbelt. Oh dear, said Baby. It's an emergency, shouted Mr. Watson. Alert the fire department. Was that pig wearing a seatbelt? Officer Tomiello asked. No, he answered himself. That pig most certainly was not. Have laws been broken here? Asked Officer Tomiello. Most certainly, most definitely, laws have been broken here. Mr. Watson and Baby Lincoln and Officer Tomiello watched Mercy fly. They watched her land. Oof. Mr. Watson got out of the car. He ran to Mercy. He wrapped his arms around her and held her tight. My darling, my dear, he said, please tell me that you were all right. Oink, said Mercy. She snuffled Mr. Watson's neck. Hooray, said Baby, she is fine. Oh, thank you, said Mr. Watson. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And he bent his head and he covered the tips of Mercy's ears with kisses. He kissed the pig. You are a miracle, a prodigy, a dear, Mr. Watson said. You are a porcine wonder, but even porcine wonders cannot drive. In fact, porcine wonders should never be allowed to drive, ever. Mercy sighed. She was glad the ride was over. She felt a tiny bit dizzy and a little bit dazed, and she wanted very much to go home. Look at her face. How is she feeling? She said she was sad. Maybe she said she was dizzy, but maybe she realizes that Mr. Watson's right. She should not be driving. It's too dangerous. Chapter 13. All right, look at the porch. Who do we see? Look at Eugenia Lincoln with her hands on her hips, and look at Mrs. Watson. Eugenia looks mad, and Mrs. Watson looks worried. And look how they came home, you guys. Not in their car. In what car? The police car. Eugenia Lincoln and Mrs. Watson stood together on the Watsons' front porch, watched a police car pull into the driveway. Mr. Watson and Mercy and baby Lincoln were all in the back seat. As I suspected, said Eugenia, trouble, folly, and that pig is right in the middle of it. Oh, said Mrs. Watson, my darlings, my dears, and she ran out to the police car. I am so glad that you are home. Toast was starting to get cold. Mr. Watson and baby Lincoln got out of the car. We have had something of an adventure, Mrs. Watson, Mr. Watson said. Yes, said baby, we have had an adventure, sister. Folly, replied Eugenia Lincoln. Yes, agreed baby Lincoln happily. Folly. Laws have been broken, said Officer Tomiello. Pig, shouted Eugenia. Excuse me, said Officer Tomiello. It's all that pig's fault, said Eugenia. She pointed at Mercy. Mercy climbed out of the car. She put her nose up in the air. Could it be? Yes, it was. Toast! Toast with a great deal of butter on it. What could be better? All right, chapter 14. This is the last chapter. Laws have been broken, said Officer Tomiello. Tickets must be written. Officer, do you like toast? Mrs. Watson asked. Toast? Said Officer Tomiello. Do I like toast? Why, yes, I do. I do like toast. Why don't you come inside and have some? Asked Mrs. Watson. Why don't I come inside and have some toast? Asked Officer Tomiello. Said Officer Tomiello. I can't think of a reason not to. Lovely, said Mrs. Watson. She clapped her hands together. Right this way. What nonsense, grumbled Eugenia Lincoln. Toast is not the answer. No, sister, said baby Lincoln, but it does smell heavenly. She took hold of Eugenia's hand. Well, said Eugenia, it has been expertly buttered. Of course, Eugenia would feel like it had been expertly buttered because she did it. She probably thinks she's definitely an expert. Now, look, is this police officer thinking about writing tickets anymore? Nope. What's he thinking about doing? Having toast. Oh my goodness. She kind of tricked him. And so that Saturday, Officer Tomiello and Eugenia Lincoln and baby Lincoln and Mr. and Mrs. Watson and Mercy Watson all sat around the table together and ate hot buttered toast. Did Mercy Watson have extra helpings? She did. And so did Officer Tomiello. So maybe now they will be friends. Now they have a police officer friend. So that's the end of the book. Now, the last one they have on Epic is Mercy Watson Fights Crime. And we'll see if I have a chance to read that one to you as well. Tomorrow we'll take a break from Mercy Watson. We're going to read one of my favorite books. Well, Miss All's going to read it, and I think you're going to love it. But I hope you enjoyed Mercy Watson Goes for a Ride. It's one of my favorites. All right, bye, everybody.